yards. That first quarter was the first quarter any of the four that the Buckeyes have been held scoreless so far this season. And the big thing for Penn State, you have to look at the stats for Ohio State. You don't see Curtis Samuel's name up there at all, and he was a player coming into tonight who you thought would be a big factor, leading the Big Ten in all-purpose yards.
Yeah, they have done a great job of shutting him down. Him and Mike Weber, too. Weber, 7 attempts, 38 yards, but most of that came on one carry, so they've been doing a good job of shutting down those two players who are really versatile dual threats back there.
Barrett, 4 of 7 for 24 yards and a non-factor on the ground with 2 rushes for -1. Ball on Ohio State's own 11, 2 receivers on either side of Barrett, whose heels are at the 6-yard line. Steps up to the line to change the play. Curtis Samuel to his left hip in the backfield. Samuel in motion, a blitz off the end picked up as Barrett steps up in the pocket. He's collapsed out of the pocket, moves to his left, and now fires downfield. Samuel open but over his outstretched arm and out of bounds. It was Malik Golden on the coverage, and Barrett was, again, pressured by this Penn State defensive line.
Yeah, but that's the kind of play that JT Barrett can make. Really good pressure by the Penn State offensive line. How does he handle it? He just drops back a little bit and runs out of the pocket. There it affected his throw. It was just a little too much over the head of Curtis Samuel.
Barrett did take a hit at the end of that play from Manny Bowen. So it's 2nd and 10 with 13:20 remaining in the second quarter. Barrett in the shotgun once again. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Handoff up the middle. That's Weber fighting forward and pushing across the 15-yard line to the 17. Brought down by Brandon Smith.
And that play didn't look like much, but Weber just kept his feet going, got 7 yards out of it.
Hurry up offense for the Buckeyes. 3rd and 4. The blitz off the end from Schwann. It's picked up, and the pass incomplete on the far sideline as it's in and out of the hands of Marcus Ball. Once again, Ohio State, they'll look like they'll have to punt, but there's some confusion here. Barrett thought it was a catch. Ball was bobbling it as he fell out of bounds, and the call on the field right now is incomplete, but Barrett wants a review. Rather, there will be a penalty on the Nittany Lions, a legal substitution on defense, and another defensive stop for Penn State. This time, it's nullified by the laundry on the field.
Yeah, it was Marcus Allen that time, and that's a guy whose name hasn't really been called a lot today with Kabinda and Bell coming back, but in their absence, he was the leader of this Penn State defense.
So that's twice in this game that miscues from the Nittany Lions have aided the Buckeyes. Ball on the 22, 1st and 10. Barrett steps up to the line once again with 2 receivers on his right. Weber in the backfield and 1 receiver to his left. Bell, Smith, and Bowen, the 3 linebackers. They've split time between those 3 and Jason Kabinda so far in this game. Weber up the middle, finds a hole and is pushing bodies all the way to the 32-yard line. Pushes past to the 33, a first down for Weber. He's brought down by Golden.
Weber, not a big guy, 5'10", 212, but he just takes so much momentum when he takes that ball that it's tough to bring him down.
Weber, the number 1 recruit out of Michigan, as Barrett on the keeper option is swallowed up. A great stop for the Nittany Lions. Brandon Smith brings him down after a gain of maybe 1, 2nd and 9. Weber is 2nd in the Big Ten coming into tonight in terms of rushing yards with 612. He has 55 on 9 attempts. Barrett takes the handoff, 2-step drop, steps over the middle, downfield, and Grant Haley breaks it up with the great coverage, the intended receiver, James Clark.
Yeah, just overthrown a little bit, and JT Barrett's had a little trouble with accuracy so far today. Overthrown a couple of receivers there. By no means was the receiver open, but really didn't have a shot to make the play.
Barrett in his career has 2 seasons in the top 5 in Buckeyes history in terms of completion percentage, leading the Big Ten this season with 63.2% of his passes completed. Tonight he's under 50%, 4 of 9. It's 3rd and 10 for the Buckeyes in their own territory. 2 receivers on either side. Barrett drops back to the 25. He's pressured from the outside, steps up in the pocket, fires across the field, and it's broken up by John Reed at the 46-yard line. Great coverage by Reed.
And how often do you see guys that make a mistake come back and make a big play like that, redeeming himself a little bit from that muffed punt before?
The Penn State defense holds strong once again, even after a penalty pushes the Buckeyes a little bit further in that drive. It will be Greg Garrity now replacing Reed on the punt return, and fourth time tonight we've seen Cameron Johnston to boot one, this time towards the student section with the wind at his back. Johnson averaging 48 yards a punt, and this one is skyrocketed to the 15. Garrity receives with his heels on the 10, and he's brought down again. Great special teams coverage for the Buckeyes. It was Eric Glover Williams on the tackle.
Yeah, really good pursuit by Glover Williams there. Looked like Garrity had room to run, but he just came up from behind him, closed really quickly on Garrity.
11:47 remaining in the second quarter, and maybe something that we didn't expect at the top of the broadcast, a defensive struggle. Ohio State 3, Penn State nothing. The Nittany Lions get the ball back when we return here on Com Radio.
This election cycle, Com Radio's news department is doing something big. For the first time ever, Com Radio reporters will